You'll take it. You'll take it. We'll put you into the final. You'll be playing one of these two players, Chris Melling and Jack Whelan, just getting underway in semi-final number 2. Quick question before I let you shoot on. Get yourself ready for that final. You've been there before. You know what it takes to get to the final. Anything you can take from that? Anything you can kind of learn from, or is it just try and go into the next match and downplay it as much as you can?
Yeah, it definitely is. Obviously, it's you don't know when these finals are going to come along, if they ever come along. As a pool player in this series, it's really tough, and it's really hard to dust yourself off and go again. The way I felt, Friday, I was looking at possibly being out for 5:15 and wondering what I was going to do for the weekend. That's how I felt, because I felt a bit disappointed I wasn't getting chances, and same old. And then here we go, Sunday evening, and I've made the final. So just got to go again and hope this time I'm on the right side of it.
Well, we wish you the best of luck. We'll be playing one of Chris or Jack, but we'll see you in a couple of hours now. It will be before the final. Go and get yourself some rest, get yourself some food, whatever you need to do, get yourself ready. We'll see you back out there in a little bit.
Thank you very much.
Big match up here in the second semi-final. Really is. Chris Melling, who's been there and done it many times before, but so has Jack Whelan. Both players right at the top of the game, and it could be a huge match up here. Chris has the first opportunity, and wow, that's a huge error, and maybe plays into exactly what Rob Warren was talking about with how glassy the table's playing. Just incredibly difficult to control that cue ball, and Chris has overrun it significantly. Delighted to say I've got company in the commentary box for this one. Nick Finn comes and joins me. Nick, it's been another very good weekend. Well, it could be building to a big climax.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've just been looking at this draw for a while and just thinking they're the two form players of this event. Chris has not dropped a frame in his last couple of matches. Jack's dropped one, I think. They could be a titanic clash, and I expected to go close, but yeah, that is a very loose one from Chris early doors. Great opportunity that Jack definitely wouldn't have been expecting.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I thought Chris was just in for a nice routine start, break clearance. Amazingly, I mean, I was chatting to Rob, so I didn't get to see the full pattern that he had. But left himself a touch too much angle, but maybe he just felt he could hold, but nowhere near, unfortunately for Chris. So it will be Jack with a chance to counter here in the opening frame.
Decent opportunities. I think he's was planning on taking out the balls at the top of the table and leaving that one till last, but it shouldn't matter. It's fairly routine. Race to 7, of course, in the semi-final. A good start will be key. There'll be a few nerves. I mean, both these players are very experienced. They've won just about every title there is to win. Former world champions. But when you get out in the arena at the business end of a final, you'd be made of steel not to have a couple of nerves. This will settle Jack nicely.
Yeah, perfect control here, really.
I mean, that was a big error from Chris, wasn't it? I mean, he overran that positional shot by probably 2 feet. He had quite a margin of error.
Yeah, just left himself so much angle, and well, it's Jack's turn to overrun it. Shouldn't be as big a problem. He's still on this 8 ball, just further down than he was expecting.
Yeah, the yellow was a help there for him as well, because He used the whole pocket, just stays on the shot for a second. What a talent he could be for the future. Finds himself in a big final later this evening. A dry one from Jack, and it's going to give Chris an opportunity to redeem himself from that early mistake. Get his first frame on the board, and the yellows look very good. He's going to make light work of these.
He doesn't hang about, does he? Couldn't have come out too much nicer for him, really. It was the last thing that Jack Whelan wanted to see.
Yeah, absolutely, because Chris now can just totally forget about the early error, knowing he's straight back into it. Jack could have kept the pressure on him there if he could have just made a ball. Not much over a minute.
Eyeing up her first women's professional title. Chris is dry.
Yeah, trading dry breaks. Jack will be very happy to see that. Looking at the table. Yeah, just assessing whether... I mean, you could probably make a case for either, but I think you favour yellows. Red near the bulk line. It's a bit of a problem if you go red, so... Yellows it is. Notice we've got two finalists in the Challenger Tier 2 as well now. Charlie Ripp against Dave Hunt. If that's got anything like the drama that we had last night.
We can only hope.
In event 1, then it'll be a great game.
Yeah, we can only hope. Yeah, went all the way to a 6-red shootout, and that doesn't really tell the full story. Well, worth checking it out. Go and watch the last match on table 3 last night. You won't be disappointed.
Jack punching the cue ball back to leave this plant. Yellow onto yellow to top left. Just needs to think about the positional shot to get on the yellow between the two reds. I think he's going to probably play that next. He's just looking at the line. Stays down on the shot just to make sure that it gets across there, and it does. It's a big angle though. Not sure he can hold for the other yellow in bulk, so may have to just either come around it. He may be able to kill it. Yeah, dead weight, just kill it with a bit of check side off the top cushion.
Yeah, played it nicely, and he's got just enough to pick what he wants to do here on the last yellow. He's eyeing up the middle pocket. I just assumed he'd play it long because it just feels he's more guaranteed to give himself the natural to get onto the 8 ball.
Yeah.
If he goes down for it in the middle, he's got to get down there. Can't leave lots of angle. And he hasn't. He's played that well.
Jack Whelan's turn to take advantage of the dry break from Chris Melling. Goes back into the lead. Breaks in the game. Will break in frame number 4.
So much power, but so much control. It's the control element that I find most amazing with Jack's break. It's down the centre on repeat, like that. Still can't find a ball though.
No. No. A few players have suffered with this over the weekend.
I don't think we've seen... I mean, I don't know if you feel the same from the matches you've seen, but I don't feel like I've seen anybody get into a real rhythm where you feel like they're going to make a break clearance every time they come to the table. I always feel like they're sort of fighting that dry break.
Yeah. Yeah, the one person who did break pretty well this weekend was Luke Gilbert.
Yeah, that break is ridiculous that Luke has.
Yeah, I heard Dom Cooney on comms last night for the final, making the claim that he felt that Tom's break was the second best in the game and Luke's was the best. And it'd be hard to argue with that, actually. Luke's got a great break.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to get on board with that as a thought process. I'm not going to rank them, but if Luke Gilbert's break isn't in the conversation for the best in the game, then I mean, it should be. It is quite ridiculous. Good chance this one for Chris. I think the yellows either side of the 8-ball both pass to the corner. He doesn't have to do anything too clever here. He can just go ahead and map out his route.
Both similar players in the way they approach the game. They both like to bully the table, to punch the ball in. Just so quick. Chris to break frame 5 moves the cue ball just across to a few inches to the right hand side as we look at the table, just to see if he can make a difference. But it's the same result.
Yeah, continuing to try to park that cue ball and just can't quite get one to fly in.
I guess the only consolation he can take from it is his opponent's doing exactly the same thing. It's not going to lighten his mood much, but if it keeps going the way it is, they're just going to get chances off each other's breaks. Yellows look good. Pretty sure he didn't.
He can't believe the line he's found there. He was playing to miss the yellow altogether. He caught it full ball.
Yeah. That's come off at a very strange angle. He's going to have to play her. Don't think he's past the red. No, you can see from there. Or can he?
He might just be able to. Might be able to bend it round, but what good does it do him?
It's the plan.
Makes that yellow even more guarded. It's not horrendous, to be honest. If he can track down for the yellow at the bottom and get low on it, just come off one cushion, you can certainly open up that area where you're likely to be on a choice of 2, maybe even 3 balls. So he just needs to track down. Needs this to keep going. Yeah, it's just about got past the straight. He could have done with another few rolls there. Might have to take the left hand one of the 2 together. That might be a touch thin. I really could have done with an extra few rolls down the table there. Yeah, he'll be happy. He'll take that. Had to really force it to create the angle. Gets the cannon he's looking for. He's on the next yellow, and he's popped the other yellow out into play.
Yeah, he's got probably a choice of either here. He's got bottom left or this one to bottom right. He's going to take the one to bottom right next. Well, he's looked a few times. It's definitely going to be the one to bottom right, though. Whilst he's on it, hard to get back on it, so... Needs to judge this well.
Yeah, not the biggest margin of error. He's could play for the gap, but the gap's tiny, so he's thinking about coming across. And it's actually better to get onto the 8 ball to come further across to the right-hand side of the 8 ball, but not a huge amount of room.
As you say, that gap is probably only a ball and a half's width, so not an option. Just effortless timing of the ball. Brings it back to a perfect place where he can naturally bounce on off the cushion for an 8 ball in, well, I was going to say an 8 ball in the same pocket, but did he? I
think he must have known that he was getting the cannon.
He played that cannon, yeah.
He potted the yellow thin. I think the intention there being to make sure he got the full ball cannon on the red.
Fairly natural to come on and off the cushion around the 8 ball, but well,
reaction. Oh, Jack's break continues to be dry. Can you believe it?
I mean, that's incredible. What's that? 5 breaks in a row now that have been dry?
I think did Chris make one off his opening break? That was the only one.
Yeah, this is
sixth frame.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, so 5 on the trot. I can tell you that Danielle did make the 8 ball. That was that little ripple of applause you heard in the background.
I mean, if one of these players could start getting that break working, then they could really get a grip of this game. Both these players are staunch front ball breakers, but it does bring in the argument that should you just try and change it up and try the cut when it's really not working for you? I don't think we'll see it happen. I did see Chris try one cut break all weekend and it didn't work out for him, so there's an alarm or something going off in the background, so Chris has just asked for the clock to be paused so he can settle. The referee's just gone to deal with it.
I hope it's not the referee's phone. The clock's back running, we're back underway, no problems there.
Forced into this ball to the top left now. I'm not convinced he wasn't trying to find the gap here. So he should still be okay, but just a little bit of work to be done. Straight down on the shot. He likes what he sees. He's up on it though. That was just because someone coughed in the background. He settles himself. Didn't realise he could get through to the potting angle of that yellow. That really is a bonus. Another one in lightning quick time.
Yeah, strange game because neither player can do it off their own break, but they're punishing their opponents right now.
Chris trying exactly the same break as last time. It didn't work last time, and it's not going to work this time. Number 6. You think surely one of these players has to give first and try something different.
I don't think I've seen Jack Whelan try anything different on his break. I mean,
No.
I've seen Chris experiment completely, but yeah, strange one. One of them's got to work it out at some point, you feel. Law of averages.
Bit more work to do in this one. Going to choose reds. There's a yellow and red tied up over on the left-hand side cushion. Jack feels that it's easier to develop the red than it is the yellow. I think he was possibly just trying to leave an angle here. But, he can leave it off his next shot. Just needs to finish low. Oh, he could get across and stun into it. He's moved the yellow aside. opened up the red, but it's stuck to the cushion. Nothing easy here. Yeah, there's the red and bolt. He could just drop it in and hold for the one near middle, but he still needs to think about that ball on the left-hand side. The ball in the middle of the table does link up with it. He's on that ball now, but this is tricky. The red below the right centre is going to have to get back across, so he's left a big angle. Too big, I think.
Maybe. Yeah, he's not happy. This is all of a sudden very tough.
So the line he wanted is now blocked by the yellow. If he runs another roll, he can miss that yellow and come below. I don't think he can from this angle, so he may have to come above it. And he does. I mean, this is horrible. He's going to catch the knuckle of the middle pocket as well. So he needs to think about how the cue ball's going to react from there. Should have a shot on the 8 if he makes it. Yeah, look at that knuckle. It's made it about as awkward as it could be. Playing it from under the side cushion. But these players play these shots so well. Look at that.
So impressive, isn't it?
Just
I mean, from where he was, just the complete confidence and belief that they can make these shots, and shake their head afterwards that he was tough, but yeah, he's still got there. Just needs to maybe just iron out a few frames here and there to sort of put away some of those matches. I mean, I think the match she's just lost to Harriet's one, she'll probably look back on and feel like she should have won because she was in front in it and couldn't put it away.
Yeah, 5-1 ahead.
Yeah.
5-1 ahead. I mean, that's...
Finally, Jack Whelan's break arrives. Huge break.
Arrives in style. Goodness. Talk about nailing one. And I did say it's going to be advantage to the first person who can find their break, and it's Jack Whelan.
Extension call.
Just a awkward opener. Cuts a middle, but he's going to try, I think. Oh no, he could get through to that one to the top. Yeah, taking care of this ball up the right hand side cushion. The only real problem on the table, and he's landed perfectly on it, and he's just looking at navigating the gap between the two reds. Just needs to just judge it well. Looking again, just needs to come back probably half a ball. Not much margin for error.
Looks like he's found the gap. Looks a little short on the overhead, but main camera looks perfect. Yeah, he's on the yellow, so exactly where he needs to be.
Is he?
Oh, he's coming down the table, so maybe he's not.
Yeah, deceiving camera angle. I thought the same as you, that he was on it.
That's an excellent shot. What a recovery, though.
Yeah, fabulous. And again, with options, you could literally take one of all three. He's on them all. Probably targeting this one to top left, but maybe just come a tad too far now. He may be okay from that angle. It looks straighter than it does from the other.
It does go top right as well if he's got any angle just to punch behind it that way, which gives him a bit more room for the cue ball.
Yeah.
It could come straight back, but you can see there it does go top right, which is his choice in the end.
So the first time that Jack Whelan has made a ball from his break, and he's rewarded with a nice layout, breaking clearance, and now he won't be doing it here, I don't think. Crucial break.
He's made a ball. That's all he wanted to hear, was that rattle. Now it's how good is his chance. Oh, it's not great.
Smelly.
Yeah, dropped his shoulders the minute he saw them finish the way they finished.
All these balls have converged at the top of the table, all come together in a bit of a cluster, and that is a mess. Look at this. Can he get through to the red? We can get through to the red. I mean, can the red pass through to the pocket? Well, that looks tight.
Extension call.
It's got the yellow, but that would depend on the two yellows on the left-hand side, whether they're a plant. No, it's going to be reds. Reds are definitely a better layout. And he's tried to flick the yellow on the way past and move it. Just not quite got there. May see him play a loss of turn here. Red onto yellow and ducking behind these two balls. But not what he was looking for there. He was trying to pop the yellow as well. Jack Whelan. It's a great opportunity to now cement in that lead. So we should, it's just asking for the white to be cleaned. I don't think the plant is dead set. Yeah, you can see now he's just looking at how he can develop. It looks close, doesn't it? It really does look close. Well, that shows you how close it was. He's ran into it and planted it down to the bottom pocket, and he's landed plumb. Look at this. I thought it was dead set. And he's looking good here to go onto the hill.
You feel like he's building, don't you? You feel like the confidence is building with every shot he plays, and especially with the way he broke in the last frame as well.
He's got great composure. Very, very calm player. He will not be rattled at all. Despite the gravitas of this frame, he knows this is going to put him on the brink of a final. Incredible, really, when you think that both of these players in the first event of the weekend struggled. Jack won a couple of matches, but Chris was out very early. They're both suffering from...
It's another brilliant break. And it's another decent layout, but a layout that needs work and figuring out. But one of the things that Jack's so good at is figuring out those problems and putting together a pattern that works.
Just giving the yellow a look at the top of the table to see if he can get through to the potting angle, because that would make a lot of difference.
Yeah, I think it's a couple of yellows that are awkward, but I think they go. And therefore yellows are a decent layout for him. Yeah, so he was eyeing up this yellow to left centre. If it works, then that fits his pattern perfectly, because he can leave the other yellow at the bottom of the table as his last ball, and the one just above the cue ball now is his ball to track up the table.
Yeah, I mean, if Jack's decided that the yellow he can't get to the potting angle to pot it top left, then he could land above it and take it long. He's got the ball above, which links with it. Well, it clearly does go. He's left the perfect ball at the bottom of the table to get onto the 8. So, great opportunity now. All about this shot. Big angle, but I think he can just kill this dead weight. Cue ball's going to run in a similar line to what it's on now. Maybe it's just a trace of side to help it.
Straight's perfect. Anything to the right hand side of straight as we look is ideal. Doesn't really want to be short. He's gone a little bit further than he wanted, but that's better than being short, so he can work with that. Just come on and off and be right behind the 8. Been a very good performance, you have to say, from Jack. He's took out a couple of really good finishes, you know, some tough balls down cushions and a couple of really tough layouts, and then he's been handed some great chances at the back end as well. And it is Jack Whelan that will march on through to the final. Chris Melling, the magician, his run ends at the semi-final stage. He will be back, of course he will, but Jack Whelan will be back taking on Rob Warne in the final.